Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. So I'm here at the library at Grants, New Mexico, just hoping to network with some people here. And I see something interesting on the door. There was a poster saying, "Due to unforeseen circumstances, are closing early this week." Now, it doesn't take a genius to figure out the unforeseen circumstance. It's probably quiet quit related, or some kind of staffing issue, or maybe well, the conflict in Ukraine is still going on. I don't know if anybody is involved in that, but it doesn't take a genius to figure out that it's probably one of those issues on hand. And I want to point out that I back home where I work, I often have to fill in all these gaps for quiet quits. See, I don't think the center where I worked has ever posted a sign like that or told any of the clients anything to that effect, right? In fact, sometimes I'm listening to my boss negotiate scheduling with the clients, and I wish he would, just out of respect, right? I know he knows that I'm available, but I think out of respect, he should probably stop by my desk and say, we got this client who wants to come in at 8 o'clock or whatever it is. He doesn't do that. If I were a family man, he probably might, right? And this is where I run into a lot of drama, right? People shade people's lives differently. It's not like they actually tell you that because of this, do that, right? They just, me wanting to go take off at 7 o'clock is shaded a little bit differently. And yes, it sounds like a minor difference, but multiply that by the thousands of places you might run into it, right? I talked about going to a county fair. I talked about, I'm still very reluctant to travel on an airplane because of all the drama that has been going on the air rage issues. And people just color my desires differently than other people's desires, right? So, for example, you got a family who wants to sit together versus me wanting to sit somewhere for a different reason, right? It gets colored differently. Now, I'm not talking about somebody who's very young or has a disability. I'm talking about a couple who just wants to sit together versus me wanting to sit at a specific seat on an airplane, right? They get colored very differently for no good reason, in my opinion, right? And it's really death by a thousand cuts. It's not one big thing, right? I think there are two reasons why uh, discrimination against solosexuals doesn't get a whole lot of airtime. I think number one is that many people are solosexual for very different reasons, right? It doesn't form a culture. And number two, I think the other big reason is that it doesn't cluster in families, right? Quite the opposite, right? The solosexuals are the terminals of the family tree, right? So, anyways, thought I would point out some differences that I saw today. They are not immediate. See, it's not immediately dangerous that the place closes an hour early, right? Or that I have to work at a time, right? It's the combination. Multiply that by 100, 1,000. That's where it becomes a barrier to life, right? This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Please show your support by disliking this video. Bum 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 bum.